The case of Anthony Robinson, the man chillingly dubbed the shopping cart killer, is far more than a true crime narrative. It's a descent into the darkest, most disturbing recesses of the human psyche, a horrifying exploration of how technology, modern conveniences, and seemingly innocuous everyday objects can be perverted and twisted into instruments of unimaginable violence and calculated cruelty. While Robinson's arrest in late 2021 in Harrisonburg, Virginia, brought a sense of immediate relief, a feeling that a dangerous predator had been apprehended and his reign of terror brought to an end, the subsequent ongoing investigations and legal proceedings, stretching throughout 2023 and into 2024, have continued to unveil, layer by layer, the true horrifying extent of his crimes, revealing a pattern of calculated predation far more extensive, far more methodical, and far more deeply disturbing than initially imagined. The sheer banality of his modus operandi, the seemingly effortless way he utilized common dating apps, the accessibility of commonplace motels, and most shockingly the utterly mundane presence of shopping carts to facilitate his murders, is precisely what elevates this case to a level of profound, almost existential unease, a fear that permeates the everyday. It's the unsettling juxtaposition of the ordinary with the unspeakably horrific, the chilling realization that a predator can operate in plain sight, blending seamlessly into the fabric of society, utilizing the tools and technologies of everyday life to carry out acts of unspeakable depravity that makes this case so deeply and lastingly unsettling. This is not simply a story of murder, it's a chilling, cautionary tale about the vulnerability of human connection in the increasingly impersonal digital age, the terrifying potential for evil to masquerade as normalcy, and the insidious ways in which technology can be exploited to prey on the most basic human desires. The initial discovery that ultimately led to Robinson's apprehension involved the bodies of two women found in a vacant lot in Harrisonburg, a seemingly random, almost desolate location. The condition of the remains and the circumstances of their discovery immediately suggested with chilling certainty that foul play was involved, that these were not natural deaths, but the result of deliberate, violent acts. But it was the subsequent painstaking investigation, meticulously piecing together digital footprints, surveillance footage, witness testimonies, and forensic evidence that began to reveal the truly horrifying, systematic methodology employed by this seemingly unassuming predator. Robinson, it is alleged, and the evidence is overwhelmingly damning, used dating apps, platforms specifically designed to foster connection, to build relationships, to facilitate human interaction, to lure his unsuspecting victims. He presented himself presumably as an ordinary individual, perhaps even charming, charismatic and trustworthy, exploiting the inherent trust, the vulnerability that people often place in these virtual encounters in the hope of finding companionship, connection, or even love. He then, allegedly, arranged to meet these women at motels, locations chosen with chilling calculation for their transient nature, their relative anonymity, their inherent lack of personal connection, transforming these spaces designed for temporary lodging, for rest and respite, into chambers of horror, scenes of unimaginable violence and brutal death. The most disturbing element, the detail that gave him his chilling, unforgettable moniker, and the one that continues to haunt the public consciousness, was his alleged use of shopping carts. Ubiquitous, utterly commonplace objects found in countless parking lots across the country, symbols of everyday consumerism. To transport the bodies of his victims, a grotesque, almost surreal perversion of a mundane, utilitarian tool, transforming it into a chilling symbol of calculated, cold-blooded and utterly depraved murder. The image is stark, visceral and deeply disturbing, a testament to the depths of his inhumanity. The ongoing investigation, a complex, multi-jurisdictional undertaking stretching across state lines and potentially involving several different states and law enforcement agencies, has continued relentlessly and painstakingly to unearth the horrifying scope, the sheer breadth and depth of Robinson's alleged crimes. As of mention date, if applicable, and only if publicly confirmed, he has been definitively linked to at least mention number, if publicly confirmed, deaths, a number that is already staggering, but investigators, driven by a chilling suspicion and a commitment to uncovering the full truth, strongly suspect that there may be more victims, their remains as yet undiscovered, their stories untold, their families unaware of their tragic fate. This lingering uncertainty, this terrifying potential for an even greater number of lives brutally extinguished, adds another layer of profound dread and a sense of urgency to an already deeply disturbing and emotionally charged case. It raises chilling, almost unanswerable questions about how a predator like Robinson, operating with such chilling efficiency and such a blatant disregard for human life, could remain undetected for so long, potentially moving freely across state lines, leaving a trail of death and devastation in his wake. It forces a painful, uncomfortable re-examination of the systems, the protocols and the resources in place to protect vulnerable individuals, to identify and track potential predators, and to prevent such horrific tragedies from occurring. It highlights the inherent challenges, the logistical and legal complexities of investigating crimes that span multiple jurisdictions, that involve the exploitation of digital platforms, and that rely on the meticulous piecing together of fragmented evidence, often from sources that are designed to protect privacy and anonymity. The shopping cart killer case is particularly disturbing, particularly chilling, precisely because it preys on and brutally exploits the most fundamental of human desires, the desire for connection, for companionship, for intimacy, for love. Robinson, it is alleged, and the evidence strongly suggests, systematically and callously exploited these universal desires, using the very tools and platforms designed to facilitate human connection as instruments of deception, entrapment, and ultimately, death. He transformed the promise of a date, the potential for a new relationship, the hope for a meaningful connection, into a deadly trap, a horrifying, irreversible betrayal of trust. A violation that extends far beyond the immediate victims and touches upon the collective anxieties of a society increasingly reliant on digital interactions. This aspect of the case resonates deeply, profoundly, and disturbingly, tapping into a primal, almost universal fear of vulnerability, of deception, of the potential for hidden danger lurking beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary encounters, particularly in the often anonymous and impersonal realm of the digital age. The anonymity afforded by the internet, the ease with which individuals can create and maintain false personas, can carefully curate their online identities, and the inherent trust, however misplaced, that many people place in online interactions, all contribute to a pervasive sense of unease, a growing awareness that the person on the other end of the screen, the voice on the other end of the line, may not be who they seem, may harbour secrets, may even pose a significant threat. The legal proceedings against Robinson, the trials, the courtroom dramas, the presentation of often graphic and disturbing evidence while offering a measure of accountability, a sense of justice slowly being served, cannot fully erase, cannot completely mitigate the chilling, lasting impact of his alleged crimes, the profound sense of violation and the lingering fear that his actions have instilled. The court cases, necessary as they are, serve to expose in stark and often brutal detail the horrifying reality of his actions, forcing a confrontation, both individual and collective, with the darkest, most depraved aspects of human nature, a confrontation that is both necessary and deeply unsettling. The case serves as a powerful, unforgettable and deeply cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the potential dangers, the hidden risks that can lurk in the seemingly safe, often anonymous spaces of the internet, and the crucial importance of practicing vigilance, of exercising extreme caution, and of prioritizing personal safety in all online interactions. It also highlights the critical, often under-resourced need for improved collaboration, communication and information sharing between law enforcement agencies across different jurisdictions, and for greater resources, both financial and technological, to be dedicated to investigating missing persons cases, to identifying potential victims of serial predators, and to proactively preventing such horrific tragedies from occurring in the future. The seemingly endless stream of online profiles, the constant barrage of digital interactions can mask a predator, making them indistinguishable from ordinary people seeking connection. This is the chilling reality that the shopping cart killer case forces us to confront. The ongoing, painstaking efforts to identify additional victims, to meticulously piece together the complete, horrifying timeline of Robinson's alleged crimes, to trace his movements across state lines, and to fully understand the complex psychological factors, the twisted motivations that drove his behavior, are crucial, not only for achieving full and complete justice in this particular, deeply disturbing case, but also for learning valuable lessons, for developing more effective strategies, and for implementing more robust safeguards to prevent similar tragedies from happening again, to protect vulnerable individuals from falling prey to such predators in the future. The shopping cart killer case is, and will likely remain for many years to come, a stark, chilling reminder that evil can take many forms, that it can adapt and evolve, that it can blend seamlessly, almost invisibly, into the fabric of everyday life, utilizing the tools and technologies of modern society for its own nefarious purposes. It is a case that will undoubtedly haunt the collective consciousness, the national psyche, for a long time. A chilling testament to the depths of human depravity, the enduring power of fear, and the constant, unwavering need for justice, for understanding, and for a collective commitment to protecting the vulnerable and preventing future tragedies. The seemingly mundane details, the dating apps, the motels, the shopping carts, are forever tainted, imbued with a sinister significance that transforms them into symbols of a predator's chilling efficiency and the terrifying vulnerability of his victims. It's a case that forces us to look closer, to question more deeply, and to acknowledge the darkness that can exist, even in the most ordinary of places.